Hi everybody, this is Congressman Courtney. I'm from Connecticut's 2nd District, and I just want to welcome you to Washington, D.C. with this amazing grassroots effort to really put the spotlight on the fact that a critical workforce in our healthcare system, which has been under tremendous stress, really needs help and attention from Congress. In addition to being a congressman, I've been married to a nurse practitioner for over 30 years. An opportunity to twice to sort of see the struggles, particularly obviously over the last 2 years, but for many years before, in terms of the stresses and pressures for people who patients today say in America they trust more than any other profession in America's nurses. Your timing is perfect. Right now, there's a bill that passed the House almost exactly a year ago, H.R. 1309, the Workplace Violence for Healthcare and Social Workers Act, which I am the lead sponsor of. It was a strong bipartisan vote that came out of the House, and it sets up enforceable standards to make sure that the totally unacceptable levels of injury, assaults, violence in almost every form that really is preventable in many instances becomes part of the workplace safety standards at the U.S. Department of Labor. This is a bill that has been painstakingly researched and crafted over the years with plenty of input from experts in terms of just workplace safety, but also from the nursing profession. This week in the Senate, Senator Timmy Long introduced a companion bill which we need to get passed in order to get it to the president's desk. Again, this is a project that's been going on for almost 10 years. So the time is now to make sure that every U.S. senator gets the call that yes, Washington's dealing with a lot of issues right now, but this one is as important as almost any other bill before U.S. Congress. Take this opportunity to ensure that we can make real change that's going to really benefit the nurse workforce that has been so critical and will be so critical in the future to making sure that America is safe and healthy. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Abrams. I'm white and a mother, and after raising my children, I decided to go to school to become a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for over 9 years and have always worked in correctional institutions. I made a choice to do that, and I thought I could do the most good with that population. In December 2019, at a jail where I worked, an inmate died being restrained by detention officers. I was present and tried to resuscitate when we stopped breathing. 6 months later, the medical examiner concluded that the inmate had died from asphyxiation caused by the restraint. I was arrested, even though I did not restrain him. In April, I was indicted for felony manslaughter. The detention officers who restrained the inmate were not indicted. I am innocent of any crime. I did my job, and I tried to save his life. I greatly appreciate your support and ask for your continued support and prayers. Thank you.
with my fellow nurses and fight back. Veronica Marshall and her team made that possible. They have made history. I am honored to be in their presence, and I am so humbled that they asked me to speak. This is a hospital. People die. I was a nurse for less than 6 months when my nurse manager spoke those words to me. My patient came back from surgery on his bladder with a CBI that as a GN I hadn't been trained on yet. For hours, he screamed and writhed in pain, and no matter what I gave him, nothing worked. I asked my fellow nurses for help, but all of them were too busy, each of us with 6 to 7 patients of our own on that med-surg floor. I asked my charge nurse for help, but she was busy assisting other nurses to deal with just pain. greatly embellished with emojis. Finally, a nurse named Rosemary answered the call bell with me after hearing his relentless cries. She asked me, "What's going on?" And helplessly I said, "I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. Nothing's helping." Luckily, Rosemary was a very seasoned, kind, and patient nurse. And she noted the blood backing up into the 3-liter bag, and she pointed at it. She told me that this patient needed to have clots aspirated, which were blocking the fluid from leaving his bladder. That the weight of the 3-liter bag was on his freshly cut bladder, and that is why he was in so much pain. Rosemary walked me through clot aspiration, and immediately the patient had relief. She made sure that I was well informed on CPI management, belladonna opium suppositories before she had to hurry off and take care of her patients, but I could not continue taking care of another patient until I addressed the biggest issue. I barged into my manager's office to confront her, furious. I said, "I came to you. I came to the charge nurse. I came to the other nurses. No one could help me because you refused to staff us safely. We cannot continue like this. That man's bladder could have ruptured. He could have died." I remember a lot of things about that moment. The smell of Santa Claus juice in the air, the sound of 1,000 alarms ringing in the background, the red nail polish on her nails that she kept flicking away. Not bothered enough to look up. And she replied, "This is a hospital, people die." I stood frozen, shocked, but thinking clearly, and in that moment I knew what I needed to do. So I found a new job. You guys are cheering, but that didn't help anything. In fact, every manager that I had from that day forward was complacent in risking our patients' lives and our license. We all experience this. We're stretched thin, running between too many patients, not a moment to eat more than a stale nourishment room cracker, holding our bladder for hours. Fast forward 6 years, I'm now a nurse in ICU, and COVID has struck our country. In the beginning of the pandemic, our hospital refused to give us proper PPE, citing the CDC. You remember this? The CDC says that if we run out of masks, you can just wear scarves and bandanas. You remember? That wasn't enough for us. So me and the other ICU nurses bought our own P100 respirators on Amazon. But when management got wind of that, they rounded us up in our pre-shift energizer meeting and said that we couldn't wear them because we weren't fitted for them. Now, if you have little ears, please muffle them because I'm going to tell you what I told the A&M in that meeting. I said I sure as hell wasn't fitted for a fucking bandana. She said, "Yeah, I'm wearing my respirator. Are you going to fire all of us?" Soon there was an uproar of nurses in this meeting. That shift was tense. Nurses congregated in the supply room, making vows to one another to wear their respirators and ignore management. We were going to go down together. Watching us steam through the windows of the supply room door. And we would look right back, daring them to try us. The next day, driving into work, we were ready for a rebellion in ICU. We just were sure that the unit would be on flames by 8 a.m. But then the pre-shift energizer came and the unit made the announcement that they would let us wear our respirators. ratios nationwide. We can tell Congress our stories, and Congress will hear us say, Congress, don't call me hero. Give me work conditions that a human can thrive in. I commit to stand with you and all nurses and healthcare workers to fight for these ratios. Contact your senators and your representatives.